You know, if you talk to the professional drivers out here and say, who's the greatest driver, they're probably going to refer to some other pro. But then when you stop them and say, who is the greatest of all time? That's the man right there. Frank Manzo is going to be the answer almost every time. 10 wins right here at Indianapolis. And in final rounds, the last 40 times, Frank, that you have been to a final, you have won it. There's got to be a secret there somewhere.
Well, we've been pretty fortunate. It seems like when they do let us get by them first couple rounds, time we get to the final, we pretty well have a handle on the track and on the car. And, you know, we've been pretty fortunate. We get to the final, we make the right adjustments, and the car go out there and run good enough to win the race.
When did it all start that you really knew that you had the technique to not only put the car together, but make it work right? How did that come about?
I think even today, I really don't know if I have it, let's say. But as a young man, I just worked very hard. And, you know, I always, with the construction business, I always worked on equipment. I liked working on motors. When I was 15 years old, I went to my first drag race. I hung around the gas station on the weekend. Yeah. And I went with the guys. They had a Camaro, modified Eliminator Camaro. And it was a lot of fun. And I really enjoy more working on the car, working on the tune-up than I do driving it, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. The driving is great, but my best days is when I have trouble qualifying and I'm struggling, and all of a sudden,
and overcome it.
First round, the thing runs low ET and top speed, and I go on to win the race. That's really a neat thing.
We happen to have some video of your 10th win here, and you certainly remember that. There it is. And tell us a little bit about it.
I think that was the final against Tiggs, and you know, we ran okay in qualifying, and the weather changed up a lot, and I went out and started running 40s, and the air really helped us, and we had the right adjustment, the right clutch adjustment for the air to make that extra power, and you know, we just started reeling off the 40s that day, and we just won the race.
Part of what makes you an enigma is that you never went pro. You do all your success where you have done it, and never had an interest in a nitro car or anything like that? Never wanted to go to the pro?
Well, you know, when I worked in the construction business, I never had enough of time to give the professional classes fuel funny car 100%, and that's what it needs to run against those guys like Forrest and them other guys. So I decided that, you know, I just stay where I am, and plus my wife Michelle's been there ever since the beginning, and I think that fuel car just made her a little more nervous.
I'm going to ask the question that the stat guy, Lewis Bloom, gave to me, because, one, he's your #1 fan, but I think he didn't want to ask this outright. How close are we to retirement? Very close.
Very close of retirement of driving my alcohol funny car. I don't want to really say that this would be my last year, because I've been saying that the last 5 or 6 years. But I think I'm pretty close. It may happen here very shortly. It may happen this year. Sometimes I'm having a pretty tough year this year. Yeah. And after I won Maple Grove last year, won the championship, and got my 100th win, there's times this year I'm sitting in the car, I'm ready to make a run, and I'm having trouble, and I go, maybe I should have retired last year. But I kind of, you know, I really like the extra. I have to reach back and get a little extra this year. The car's just not quite balanced. We made 3 good runs here. We made 2 562s and 1 563. Went down the track all 3 times. We're trying to get our consistency back. And, you know, who knows? This might be the year that I retire. You know,
or not.
Yes, it might be time.
You know, retirement's not all it's cracked up to be, I don't think.
No.
So, the great Frank Manzo, 10 victories here at the U.S. Nationals. Maybe number 11's coming this weekend. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you very much.
Paul, one of only 2 racers with more than 100 national event wins. The other one, funny car's iconic, John Force.